Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the mom family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is True Love Tuesday, so very excited. Today we're going to be talking about a country western couple, one that completely and totally ruled my 90s. We're talking about Toby Keith and Tricia Lucus, a really fantastic couple. If you don't know who Toby Keith is, baby doll, you need to go check that out because he is fantastic. Very much a nostalgic kind of person for me. He was just all over the place in the 90s, and basically very much what I think of when I think of country music. Also a very big playboy, party boy kind of guy, just like to have a good time. And I just think he was a very handsome man as well. So we're going to be talking about their epic love story today, as well as doing this really gorgeous frosty night sky kind of eye look. So pretty. I will be using two different palettes to do this eye look today. The first of which is the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Bubblegum Palette. Now, it is my dream to own this entire collection. I have the blue one, the pink one, and the orange one. I'm missing the green and the red. I am trying it desperately to find them, but cannot find them anywhere. They unfortunately are discontinued and they're not being made anymore. So you have to get lucky and come across them at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, things like that, and I haven't yet. But really great, fantastic formulas inside here, and such a truly beautiful palette. I'm also going to be using the Beauty Bakerie How Are You Doin' palette. I received this palette through BoxyCharm, and it's a stunning palette as well. Really, the only shades that I'll be using in this palette are these white shades right here, but they're so very pretty. So yes, I probably won't be talking too awful much about the makeup that I'm using in today's video, but I will of course post everything that I'm using in the description box below, along with the tags to all my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. I did do a shorter video, more like a tutorial for the eye, so if you're interested, the links will be in the description box. All right, guys, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it, and we're going to get this done. I did try to film this video once before, and I got super tongue twisted, so hopefully that doesn't happen in this one. But the only thing I have on my eye so far is I used this matte white shade from the How Are You Doin' palette. This is the shade Sour, and I just took that on a big fat fluffy brush and just kind of fluffed it all underneath my eyebrow and through the transition. Then I took this shade, the really beautiful kind of pinky white duochrome shade. It's called Sangria. This one right here, and put it all over the lid. I just used my finger and just kind of pressed it on up to the crease. And then I took the BH Bubblegum palette, and I went into the lightest shade, the lightest matte in the palette, and just took this on the very outer edge of my lid and through my crease, and then just blended it upward. Just went back into that first big fluffy brush and just kind of fluffed it up towards the eyebrow. So Toby Keith and Tricia Lucus, they met in 1981 in an Oklahoma nightclub. They were very much party people, loved to go out, loved to have a good time. They were both incredibly young at this point. I believe Toby was 20 and Tricia was 19. So they were very young, just going out, having a good time, enjoying life, just trying to kind of carve out a place and figure out where they belong in this very big world. And they met that night, and Toby was pretty much instantly smitten. He saw Tricia from across the dance floor, thought she was absolutely gorgeous. She's this very petite little brunette, super adorable. And then here you have Toby. He's built like a total linebacker, honestly. Super tall, broad. He's a big old boy. Looks like a giant blonde teddy bear. And she was completely, instantly smitten as well. They get together, they meet up, and they dance the night away. And it's kind of like a classic case of falling together. They were just at the right place, at the right time, and with the right people. So they dance the night away. Toby is instantly in love and decides instantly, basically, that this is my person. This is who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And luckily, she agreed. So after that evening, they weren't really looking for a partner. They weren't looking for anything special or anything like that. But they just kind of like fell together and never could quite separate afterwards. So after they met up in the nightclub, they dated for the next 3 years. But during this time, right when they had met, Tricia had a baby. She had a baby about a year before she met Toby. So they took that 3 years to really see if Toby could be to Tricia what she needed him to be. And that included being a stepfather for her daughter. Now, she had a 1-year-old at the time named Crystal. And Toby, you know, she was a very good mother, took care of her child. And for Toby to step in and become a part of that, he needed to prove that he could be a father to Crystal. And he did, in fact, very much prove that he could be that. He stepped into the role of fatherhood so gracefully and really embraced it. And after they had dated for 3 years, they actually ended up getting married. So they got married on March 24th, 1984. And as soon as they were married, Toby actually adopted Crystal. So instead of her being his stepdaughter, she became his daughter. And I have so much respect for any person, man or woman, that can step into a relationship and raise someone else's child. It is a very, very hard thing to do, and much respect from me to anyone that can do that. So yes, beautiful, happy family. They are starting their life, trying to carve out a piece of it, fit their family in, figure out how things work, how this grown-up thing is supposed to work now. And as happy families usually do, it started to grow. And in quick succession, they had 2 more children, a boy and a girl. And now they are a family of 5. Now, when they first met, Toby was working in the Oklahoma oil fields, just kind of very, very hard work. And Tricia actually worked at another oil company, but she was a secretary. So they're both in the oil industry and working their butts off. Now, the oil industry doesn't pay very well. And both Toby and Tricia were making just absolutely abysmal wages. And then after they had their next 2 children, Tricia ended up having to take off work and stay at home and be with the kids. So now you have Toby, who is trying to eke out a living in an industry that just doesn't care about him. And he is barely able to support his family. I think he was making at the time around $50,000 a year, which is actually nothing, and certainly not enough to support a family of 5. So then he starts to see he starts to look for other options. He starts to see if there's anything else that he could do, that he might possibly be able to use to take care of his family. And then he remembers his absolute love of country music. Now, Toby was a very avid country music lover. He had loved music from the very time that he was born. He had actually been singing and playing the guitar since he was 8. He received his first guitar, I believe as a gift, when he was 8 years old, and very quickly after that, he learned how to play the guitar and then moved on to other instruments. So he was just very musically gifted, and just could sing like nobody else, just has a 1 in a million kind of voice. So at this point, he kind of starts looking to the music industry as maybe possibly something that could help him support his family. When he was younger and had just graduated from high school, he actually had started a band with a couple of his friends, and their very first gig, they actually got super lucky and booked a nice paying gig, and they earned each $1,000. And at that point, $1,000 was a whole lot of money. And for just 30, 45 minutes worth of work, he was like, that money is just easy money. Thus the name of the Easy Money Band. Well, unfortunately, very quickly, he realized that not every gig is as well paying as their first one was. They just got really, really lucky. And the ones that would pay them usually wasn't anything but $35 a piece and free drinks in a bar. So he had to work at it. And at this point, it became not only a dream, but something that, you know, he needed to earn. He knew he could do this, right? So he's playing in gigs. He's trying to get his name out there, and it's really not working. So they pack their bags, and by the early 90s, him and his family had moved to Nashville. Now, the work in the oil fields was in Oklahoma was absolutely, the industry was dying. And with the industry dying, that led to people being laid off and just work not being available. So they moved to Nashville, and Toby really set out to really make this dream work. Now, as soon as they get to Nashville, he goes to Music Row. And he starts playing. He takes his guitar and he goes out on the street, and is basically just trying to do any and everything he can to get his music heard. And this took a while. It usually does take quite a while for you to get your name out there and for you to be noticed, if you get noticed at all. And during this time, money was super, super tight. They continued to have to barely be able to make ends meet, and person after person went up to Tricia and told her, you need to put a stop to this. You need to make him do the right thing. You need to make him go get a job. You guys can't keep doing this. And Tricia never wavered. She never wavered in her support of his dream, and I bet you they're happy about that now. Pretty soon, a little while after they moved to Nashville, Toby got super, super lucky. He got heard by the right person, spoke to the right guy, and was actually able to earn a record with Mercury Records. A really, really great label. He was able to sign a contract, and that year was able to put out his first record. Included in that first record was Should Have Been a Cowboy, one of his all-time, like, most classic songs. That song actually ended up being the most played song of the 90s. Not even the most played country music song. No qualifiers. It was the most played song of the 90s, and I really remember it that way as well. I just remember his voice being absolutely everywhere. And from that point on, life was just absolute gravy. Him and Tricia are still together. Their marriage is going strong, and their lives are everything that they wanted it to be. There's not a ton of literature out there on them, but I just want to do something super sweet, super short, just because I know that Christmas is coming super, super fast, and I have a million things to do. I'm sure you do too, but I hope that you were able to put this story on in the background somewhere, maybe while you're wrapping presents or cooking dinner, what have you. I hope it brought you just the teeniest, tiniest little bit of joy. Guys, I will, of course, finish the eye look and then post it over on Instagram and Facebook. That's where I post all of my finished look pictures. Of course, in the description box are going to be all the products. If you have any questions, all you got to do is shoot me a comment and I will get back to you. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera, playing with some makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.